Interesting. Now, like I was saying, you've had a very, remarkable journey in the gospel scene. Growing up, as you were springing, what's some of your biggest spiritual influences or people in the gospel scene that inspired you?
Okay, I'll take two things. When you said the first one, I knew who came to mind because that wasn't in the scene.
Okay.
In the industry, it was my father. Well, pre my father, it was my grandfather when he taught me to read the G Bible, and around that same time was when I was in. Oh, when you said a fondest memory in Africa.
Yes.
I just remembered one. Oh my goodness.
Don't leave with it.
So when we used to go to Sunday school, and on Children's Day, we are traveling.
We are
on our way to heaven. Only Christians can go there, so let us praise the Lord. Left foot, right foot. Anyway, you are Father Abraham, you do Father Abraham. Anyway, so I had just one socks, and that same socks would go to school Monday to Friday, and then I had to wash it on Friday evening for it to dry on Saturday, and then on Sunday I'll take it to church, and then the rest of the week I'd wear that socks for school. Anyway, if I ever forgot to wash it on Friday and forgot Saturday, it meant that on Sunday I was going to go to church with dirty socks, and then the rest of the week. So this particular Sunday was a Children's Day. We're going to do We Are Traveling. And I hadn't washed my socks. And I knew my grandmother was going to beat me up if she realized I hadn't washed it. So smart DH washed the socks. And then I put in a towel and I squeezed it. And you know what? That strategy. So when you do, you think it's dry. Because it gives you that euphoria. It gives the feeling it's Anyway, so I did that and I wore the socks.
Wash away. This is super fun.
And We Are Traveling. And my skirt didn't fit. My skirt was still loose. Whatever I wore was loose. Now here we are traveling. Oh, for Ukum Church of Pentecost. And I'm cold. So my nose is running. My socks is itchy. And my skirt is coming off.
What's the idea anymore?
We are traveling, so work the maths.
You are really traveling.
And so I do a step, I scratch my feet, kaka, then I pull my skirt up, then I blow my nose, and then we are traveling.
You really traveled. You went to Jericho.
I remember it so well.
Okay.
And my grandmother was so crossed when she realized, because obviously I messed the whole thing up.
You traveled with the whole family.
I'm telling you. But yeah, so my grandfather was a big influence on me. And there was a lady in our church too, Mama Bam. Mama. She sang a song. It's not her song, but she used to minister that song a lot. Her husband was Elder Safo. Mama Manko over in Chrome. The way she sang that song, just anytime that song comes to mind, she comes to mind. Then it was my father. Then it was my mother. And then obviously when we came into the industry, we saw when I started growing up into my teens and I started following gospel music, then Mary Ganza,
Auntie Mary,
was one of those, for how she had a band. She had a band that would sing and would play. And I remember one of her singers made such a great impression on me. I later found out that girl was actually Becky Bonnie.
Oh,
I
Auntie
know.
Becky.
Yeah.
She was with Auntie Mary.
Yes, she later told me I never knew, but now that she said she was the one, because I remember she was.
Her voice rings a bell now.
And it wasn't about her voice, because at that time her voice wasn't that heavy, but it was her look. She was dark skin. She was a little plump. It was Becky. Anyway, but it was how she commanded the band in the absence of Mary Ganza. For a while before Mary would come on, and it was Mary's worship songs that made an impression. I was really blessed by it. Then Daughters for their consistency. This is in the Ghanaian circle, but internationally it's always been CC Wines.
You know, you actually look like her when you
I get that a lot.
you have that curly hair.
I get that a lot.
You really look like her.
I get that a lot.
But